Gen, I'm trying to load the equations in my HTML page. The page shows the results erratically. Since your equations contain symbols and special characters, you can't use them directly. HTML has special codes for reserved characters and symbols. I'll teach them. At the end of this unit, you will be able to apply text formatting using HTML. Use reserved characters and symbols in HTML. Explain character encoding and URL encoding in HTML. Let me start with a small introduction about HTML, its significance and limitations. As you know, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. HTML elements are the building blocks of all the websites. HTML describes the structure of websites. Do you know why HTML gains importance in creating websites? HTML displays any kind of document on host computers located anywhere in the world. It is multi-platform language. That is, it can be interoperated on any platforms, like Macintosh, Unix, Windows, etc. It is used to intensify the appearance of the texts. It can link one document with the other. HTML also has some limitations. HTML cannot be used to develop software. It is neither a word processing tool, nor a desktop publishing solution. It only defines page layout, and enables browsing through hyperlinks. Text formatting. Let us now learn about various formatting options that are available in HTML. Formatting the texts not only provides appearance, but also emphasis on the purpose of the texts. The commonly used tags to format text are bold, italics, strong, underlined, and centered, etc., which you have studied in your lower classes. Let's learn a few more tags used in text formatting. Now, let's learn a few more tags and their definitions. Let's try these tags in practice and see their output in HTML page. You can see the mark tag highlighting the selected text, and the del tag strikes through the selected text. Similarly, you can look at the outputs of the other tags on screen. You have learned to apply various text formatting options available in HTML. Let us now learn about reserved characters in HTML. Reserved characters are the characters that are reserved for writing HTML codes. For example, less than and greater than symbols are reserved to define tags in HTML. Therefore, whenever you use these symbols in your HTML code, the web browsers consider them as tags. Let me explain you this with an example. Consider, we want the browser to display #include IO stream.h. Look at this line of code. This code is to display as #include iostream.h. Let us see the result. Look at the result. The browser considered those symbols as tags, and has given the erroneous result. In this case, how can we write the code for these reserved characters to appear on screen as symbols? HTML provides an easy way. That is, you can use the predefined entity name for those symbols. The following are some of the special characters and their corresponding entity names and entity numbers. Let us try an example using these entity names. Let us edit the same code by replacing the reserved characters, less than and greater than signs, with their entity names. The less than symbol is defined using the entity &LT, and greater than symbol is defined using the entity &GT. Now, let us check whether we get the result as expected. Yes. The less than and greater than signs are displayed in the web page. Now, let's try the entity numbers in place of the entity names and see the output. You can see the output remains the same. Hence, we conclude, for reserved characters to appear on screen, we should use the corresponding entity names, or entity numbers, while writing the HTML code. Let me teach you to use symbols in HTML. The following are some of the commonly used symbols. For all empty sets, there exists summation. Using symbols in HTML is very much similar to the reserved characters. There are predefined entities which should be used to define these symbols. Alternatively, you can use the ISO Latin 1 codes to display the symbols in HTML. Let me give an example. Consider the following equation. Summation of should be displayed in the web page. Look at this code, with the entity for the symbol to appear. Let us check with the output. The result is produced with the symbol as expected. Now, let's try the entity numbers in place of the entity names and see the output. You can see the output remains the same. Similarly, you can use the entities for other symbols. Now let us learn about character encoding in HTML. Character encoding is the method of converting sequence of bytes into characters. Characters encoding standards have evolved over the span of time. Let's see one by one. ASCII was the first character encoding standard, also called character set. It defines 127 different characters that include numbers, English letters and some special characters. The main limitation of ASCII code is that it did not support non-English letters. ANSI was the original Windows character set. It supported 256 different character codes. The biggest demerit of ANSI is that it supported only a limited set of characters. ISO 88591 was the default character set for HTML versions 2.0 to 4.01. It also supported 256 different character codes. Like ANSI, this coding standard also supported only a limited set of characters. Because the character sets in all the previous standards are limited, and not compatible in multilingual environments, the Unicode Consortium developed the Unicode Standard. The Unicode Standard covers almost all the characters, punctuations, and symbols in the world. While writing your HTML code, you have to specify the corresponding character encoding for HTML version you use. The format for declaring character encoding is shown on the screen. For example, if you use HTML5, then you have to specify the character encoding as UTF-8. As you have specified UTF-8, the coding will be converted into sequence of bytes, using UTF-8 character encoding. You have successfully learned about character encoding in HTML. Now, let us move on to the next topic, URL encoding. URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator. URL is address of the web page, which we often refer as website address. URL encoding is the conversion of characters into ASCII format that can be transmitted over the Internet. Examples of URL encoding are shown on the screen. Here, space is encoded as +, or %20. Ampersand is encoded as %26, hash as %23, and so on. Let us check this by typing the text, computer science. Look at the URL tab, the double quotations and space between the texts are replaced with its corresponding encoding. You have successfully learned about the URL encoding. Deeper, can you summarize what we have learnt so far? Sure, Jen. HTML elements are the building blocks of all websites, and it describes its structure. HTML is a multi-platform language. Mark, delete, insert, emphasis are some of the tags used in formatting text in HTML. Reserved characters and special symbols are represented using their entity names. HTML versions from 2.0 to 4.01 uses ISO 88591 as the standard for character encoding. HTML version 5 uses UTF-8. URL encoding is the conversion of characters into ASCII format. Well done, Deepa.
Thank you for watching this video. For more videos, please subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you.